Yes, Mataji. You're audible. So thank you all the devotees for joining. I just want to give a quick introduction about Her Grace Nitai Sevani Mataji. And we are very, very blessed and honored and grateful to Her Grace Nitai Sevani Mataji for taking out her valuable time from her busy schedule and hundreds and thousands of services which she is rendering to devotees in Shakhapatnam and across all the world, actually. So Mataji mentions this wonderful phrase that Krishna consciousness is not a sad process, it's a very happy and joyful process, and sharing by her example. So Dr. Nitai Sevani Mataji was born in Mumbai, in Gujarat, in a in a Gujarati business family, and followers of Pushti Marg. Then later she moved to in Hyderabad and got connected to ISKCON devotees. And then later Mataji moved to Atlanta, US in 1998, where she got the initiation from His Holiness Jayapataka Swami Maharaj, who we all know is a wonderful Paramhamsa Vaishnava in our ISKCON family. Was a disciple of Srila Prabhupada. And then Mataji completed her graduation and then later PhD. And currently she's the principal of the Divine Touch School. So Mataji is a great teacher, great mother, exemplary in every aspect, married to His Grace Samba Prabhu, who is the president of ISKCON of Visakhapatnam, doing summer camps, doing yatras and namahatas, bhakti rikshas, everything. And both Prabhuji Mataji are great inspiration for the whole world. And we are really, really very, very honored, grateful, and blessed to have Her Grace Nitai Sevani Mataji. So we welcome you with our words, heart, and gratitude. So thank you for accepting this invitation, Mataji. And on behalf of all the devotees, welcome you by chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna,
Thank you so
Mataji.
much. Yes. Thank you so much to all the devotees there at Tampa for your very warm and loving welcome. I'm very happy to be back again in your yatra. I think it's a long time. Last time I was here the same time of the year last year. And I hope you had a great New Year celebration. I just came back from Tirupati Dham Yatra. And I was just thinking maybe I should have this class taking you all on a virtual yatra to Tirupati. But somehow I just came day before yesterday, and yesterday we were very busy. We had a wonderful, wonderful New Year celebration at the temple with drama and other cultural programs and a big get together with lots of new people getting introduced to Krishna consciousness. And I couldn't put up a PPT together. So then I thought maybe some other day, because virtual yatra means you really need to have some pictures and videos. Because I was still in that mood of Balaji Yatra, because I've been to Tirupati a couple of times before also, but it was always very brief and maybe just landing, have Balaji Darshan and push off. This time I was there for 3 whole days, and we went to a number of places and visited number of places connected to different devotees and their pastimes, and it was a very wonderful, wonderful yatra. So, however, I thought maybe we'll just take up a bhajan by Govinda Das Kaviraj. It's one of my favorite bhajan, and I think one of the most popular bhajans in ISKCON. So what we'll do today is we'll sing that bhajan and then try to go line by line and, meditate on that bhajan and try to take home some lessons which we can implement in this coming 2022 year. So it's a short bhajan. So what I'll simply do is first I'll recite all the 4 stanzas. I'll sing them and then we'll go one by one, line to line, and then try to go deep into that. So you can put this up on the screen if you like. Bhaja Hure Mana. and then we will go deep into it. So, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Guru Parampara ki jai, ISKCON Vartaman Guru Vrinda ki jai, His Holiness Jai Pataka Swami Guru Maharaj ki jai, and all glories to the assembled Vaishnavas. Thank you so much. Bhaja Hure Mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Bhaja Hure Mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Dullabhamanava Janamasat Sange Tarohe Bhava Sindhure Bhajahure Mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Sitaya tapa bata barishana edina jamini jagire Sitaya tapa bata barishana edina jamini jagire Vifale se vinu kripana durajana Vifale se vinu kripana durajana Chapala sukhalabha lagire Chapala sukhalabha lagire Edhanayo bana putra parijana ite kiyache paranti tire Kamala dala jala jivana talamala Kamala dala jala jivana talamala Bhajahu haripada nitire Bhajahu haripada nitire Ravana kirtana smarana vandana pada sevana dasya re Pujana sakhi jana atma nivedana Pujana sakhi jana atma nivedana Govinda dasabhi lashare Govinda dasabhi lashare Bhaja re mana Shri Nanda Nandana Abhaya Charanara Vindare Abhaya Charanara Vindare Very, very beautiful bhajan. Bhajahu Re Mana. Govindadas Kaviraj. He's talking to his mind. My dear, dear mind, please worship Sri Nanda Nandana, the son of Nanda Maharaj. Now, this is so weird. Somebody talking to their mind. I mean, we talk to people. Who talks to mind? But we see all the Vaishnavacharyas and their different bhajans and all. They're always talking to their mind. We see even Arjun. He's talking about mind. Oh Krishna, my mind is chanchala. How do I control chanchala himana Krishna? We see even Krishna talking about mind in the Bhagavad Gita. At several places he says, give me your mind. In the 9th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, verse number 34, Krishna says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishyasi yukta vaivam atma nam mad parayana. Give me your mind. Your mind should be my parayan. Now this is something really special. Why is everybody so much talking about mind, 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 mind? Krishna is talking about mind. Devotees are talking about mind. why is this mind so important? Because the whole point is, it's the only thing that's keeping us away from Krishna, or it's the only thing that can connect us to Krishna. So we may say, but why do you talk to mind? Is it not inside us? Is it not us? No, it's inside us, but it's separate from us. Everything that is inside us may not be us. So mind is inside us, but we are not the mind. Mind is separate. So that's, we have a gross body, which is made up of earth, water, fire, air, and ether. Then we have a subtle body made up of mind, ego, and intelligence. And it's not us, because we are the pure soul, part and parcel of Krishna. And these are the layers upon us. The mind, ego, and intelligence is a layer upon our soul. So it's not us. So that's why we are trying to convince it, because the problem is the gross body, we can leave it here and go. But this subtle body of mind, ego, and intelligence, there's no exchange policy. We have to stick with it. At least we can have new bodies every time we take birth. But mind, ego, and intelligence is the same, carried forward from millions of lifetime. So we really need to work on it, because it's our constant companion till we go back home, back to God. It's going to stick with us. So we really need to work on it and cure it and make it our friend and make it in such a way that we help us to connect to Krishna. So the whole play, the key player in this whole game is mind. If the mind is regulated and if the mind is convinced and connected to Krishna, then the whole problem sorted out, because there is Krishna and here we are, and what is separating us from Krishna is the mind. If we can regulate our mind and the mind connects us to Krishna, we go back home, back to God, and the whole story is over. So that's why everybody is talking about mind. And around the world, people have different ideas about mind. The many scientists and different thinkers, they talk about mind, and some people don't want to talk about mind because they think, there's one particular scientist, he says, I don't want to talk about mind and I don't want to study mind because it doesn't have any locus standi. Where is the mind? Who has seen the mind? Because mind is not some gross object which you can see, feel, touch. You can't do anything, you can't touch it or you can't see the mind. So, but anyway, whether you study the mind or you don't study the mind is always studying you and it's trying to find out your weak points and then it attacks you. So it's very important that we understand the mind, we regulate the mind, we connect the mind to Krishna. Because there are so many temptations out there in this world. We see, as devotees, we're always talking about two things. We're talking about Krishna and how Maya is disturbing us. Now, this disturbance of Maya can be overcome only if mind is our friend. Otherwise, we are in big trouble. But there are so many temptations in the outside world, and we can't do anything about it. We are helpless because they're all external, and we can't make any changes in our outside world or culture. The only thing we can do is if we can regulate our mind. There are so many temptations. Temptations may come, but we should not welcome those temptations. And that is possible only if our mind is under our control. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita 16.16, he says, Aneka chitta vibhranta moha jala samavrita. Our consciousness is constantly pulled in different directions, and it's not only pulling us in different directions, it's pulling us down, down towards hell. Who can help us? It's only if we can somehow control our mind and we can connect it to Krishna. Otherwise, we are duped. See, the kind of temptations that we face in the outside world, to a certain extent, we can decrease our encounters with those temptations in our day-to-day life, but it still boils down to our own responsibility of controlling our mind. I was just going through this one study that this Google made. The Google head office, they made one study. They have this canteen in their office for the staff who work there. And what they observe is they have these sweets and goodies which are full of sugar in transparent containers. And every time somebody walks in canteen, because they're looking at those sweets and goodies, they are tempted to eat them. So after some time, what they did is they changed those containers from transparent to translucent. Now they were not, you cannot see them, but they're still available. You can go and ask in the counter and they will give you, but you cannot see them. And to their amazement, within a few months, the intake of those sweets became half, because now people were not able to see them. So they were not attracted. It's like out of sight, out of mind. But only those, of course, you can, even if it's out of sight, it's not always out of mind. Sometimes it's very much inside the mind and we may try go searching for it. So unless until somebody is actually asking for it, no, I want this particular cookie, but it's not very clearly seen, or it's not, attracting you because it's not there anymore in those transparent containers. So over the period of time, the intake reduced and people became very healthy. So in this world, if we try not to expose ourselves to those temptations, to a certain extent, we can have self-control and we can, reduce desires in our life. But it's not always feasible, because you cannot cover those hoardings, you cannot cover the televisions. There are so many YouTube channels. Because we are living in a social circle and so many things is happening around us. So definitely we'll be exposed. So we cannot expect any change outside. Only thing that we can do is somehow we can control our mind. And this controlling of our mind, or vaccination of our mind, or immunization of our mind, is done only if we have a proper purpose. I want to give you an example here from the Ramayana. In Ramayana, the king Sugriva, the monkey king, he faced temptations in his life on 2 occasions. One time when Vali was killed by Lord Ram, and then Sugriva was handed over the kingdom. And for the 4 months that he was there, Chaturmas, he got completely intoxicated and indulging himself in sense gratification, because he had been deprived for so many years living somewhere in the jungle. And suddenly he is here as a king in the royal palace and so many temptations around him. And he just gave in and he started enjoying, and he completely forgot about serving Lord Ram, though he was reminded by Hanuman, and then he was reminded by Tara, he was reminded by Lakshman, but he just gave in the temptations. So he got completely drowned. The second time he faced temptation was when they crossed the ocean. At that time, Ravana, he sent his messengers to Sugriv. He said, look, I'll give you a lot of wealth. Leave this Ram alone, these 2 brothers. I'll manage them. You take your army and go back, walk back. And I'll give you all the money and all the wealth and all the support you require. But this time, though temptation is readily available, but Sugriv, he does not give in to temptation. He just holds the neck of those messengers, and drags them to Lord Ram and tells him, hey, these people have come to, with a proposal to me, and he beats them up. Now, somebody may ask, but last time he got tempted, why this time he was so strong? He did not, give in for temptation, because this time he has a purpose. Last time there was no purpose. He's happy. He got all the temptations in front of him. So many avenues to indulge in sense gratification. There's nobody around him and he was enjoying. But this time he's in association of devotees, and then he's connected to the Lord, and then he has a specific purpose. Oh, we are all here and there is our army and we are going to reclaim Mother Sita. He has a purpose, and purpose gives us determination to overcome the temptation. So that is why Govinda Das Kaviraj says, oh my dear mind, bhajahure mana, get connected to Krishna. If you don't get connected to Krishna, you'll give trouble to me, because you'll drag me to Maya. And then again, that will separate me permanently from my Lord. So, oh my dear Lord, oh my dear mind, kindly get connected to Krishna. So this purpose in our life comes only when we read scriptures and then we associate with devotees. Then our purpose becomes strong. And when the purpose is strong, then we have determination to say no to temptation. So he says, bhajahure mana, Oh, my dear mind, Sri Nanda Nandana, get connected to the son of Nanda Maharaj. So the mind may ask, oh, very well, what do I get out of it? The next line he says, Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Abhaya Charanara Vrindare. Oh, you'll get Abhaya. You will become fearless. We have so many fears in this world. Fear of health, fear of finances, fear of relationships. But when you connect to the Lord, it's not the problem that problems will go away, but we get the capacity to face them. When we stand in front of a big building, the building is so huge, we can't do anything about it. But when we are in a helicopter and we see the building from top, the building becomes very small. That means when we connect to the higher, then all these things become very small in front of us. So the problems still stay, but then we have now a better perspective to look at it, because now we are connected to the Lord. We get the strength to face them. Now our temple here in Vishakhapatnam is next to zoo. There's a zoo here, zoo park, animal park. And many a times I bring my school children here to see the animals in the zoo. And you should see their confidence, especially when they're in front of the tiger's cage or the lion's cage, and the lion is roaring and the children roar back. And why is this all confidence coming? Because behind the teacher is holding the hand, and they're so confident. My teacher is with me. I don't have to worry. Alone, they may feel fear, but because they're holding the hand, they have all the confidence. When we are connected to the Lord, fearlessness, because we know He's our well-wisher and He's there for us. So, Bhaja Hure Mana Sri Nanda Nandana, my dear mind, worship the son of Nanda Maharaj. Then what will happen? You will become Abhaya, you will become fearless. Why should I do that? Because this human birth is very rare, says Govinda Das Kaviraj in the next line. Dullabha Manava Janama. Oh, this human birth is very rare. And this is the only opportunity. This is the only time that you can connect to Nanda Maharaj's son. You can't get connected in different other species. So Dullabha Manava. Somebody may say, oh, really? Is it so rare to get a human birth? We don't think so. There's so much population of India, and there's so much population of China, and the people around the world. And in fact, the lions and the tigers are becoming extinct. We need to protect them. But where is Durlabha Manava Janma? There are millions and billions of people around the world. It's crowded and overpopulated. But the scriptures say that there are 84 lakh species. Among 84 lakh species, there are 9 lakh species of aquatics. There are 10 lakh species of birds, 11 lakh species of insects, 20 lakh species of trees, 30 lakh species of animals. But as far as human beings, only 4 lakh species. And among the human beings also, there are 2 varieties. There are the Aryans and the non-Aryans. Aryans are the civilized ones, and non-Aryans are the uncivilized. By uncivilized, we don't mean uneducated. We mean those who are not civilized. And among the Aryans, the civilized one also, there are 2 kinds of people. The one who is righteous and one who are unrighteous. And among the righteous people also, there are 2 kinds of people. One who believe in fruitive activities, one who do not believe in karma kanda. And among the people who believe in karma kanda also, there are 2 kinds of people. Some who constantly keep doing something good, sometime bad. And there are some who are in search of absolute truth. Now, in those who are searching absolute truth also, there are 2 kinds of people. Some who want moksha, some who does not want moksha. And in people who don't want moksha also, there are 2 kinds of people. One who does not want moksha, there are 3 kinds of people. There are some who want to worship demigods, and there are some who want to have mystic powers, and then there are some who believe in Krishna. Now, those who believe in Krishna, there are 2 kinds of people. Some who want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan, and some who don't want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. They believe Krishna is God, but they worship Krishna for with the karma mishrita bhakti or gnana mishrita bhakti. Now, among those who want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan, so there are 2 kinds of people. Somebody who want to go, but not now. Take it easy. And somebody who wants to go now, right now, and is very seriously pursuing it. And One such person that we all have come in touch is Abhay Charnaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada in our life. Now you can imagine how rare it is if you go through all those divisions to get that one devotee in your life who is a devotee of Krishna and who wants to go back home, back to Godhead. That is why you see in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.29, there is a beautiful verse. Dullabha manava deho dehinam shanabhangura tatrapi dullabham manye vaikuntha priyadarshanam. Oh, it's very rare to get a human birth, but most rare in human birth is to get an association of Vaikuntha Priya, one who is dear to Lord, Vaikuntha Priya Darshanam, a devotee of the Lord. So here, Durlabha Manava Janma, Govinda Das Kaviraj is saying, oh, it's very rare to get a human birth. Okay, I'm convinced. It's very rare to get human birth. So what should I do? So he says the next word, Satsanga. Come on, just do Satsanga. What is Satsanga? So Satsanga is, he says, Sat means eternal. Sangha means associate with those people who are talking about that eternal absolute truth, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. So such a beautiful way he's explaining that, oh my dear mind, take shelter of the son of Nanda Maharaj. And then you will become fearless, because this human birth is very rare. And in this human birth, Durlabha Manava Janma, what you should do, you should take shelter of him. And how? By doing Satsanga. You should take association of devotees. Satsanga, we are doing. We associate with devotees. But there is a problem here also. Our situation is like that of somebody who was drowning in the water. And then he was trying to somehow swim, and then again getting inside the water, somehow again coming out, panting, becoming breathless, and somehow was trying to cross this material ocean. And somebody very kindly, who was in the boat, gave us a hand and made us sit inside the boat. Srila Prabhupada, of course. So he made us, he took our hand. We were drowning in this material ocean, and he took our hand, and he took us by our hand and made us sit in this boat, that is ISKCON. And he is the captain of our boat. And then there are other crew members, other devotees whom we are associating with. And it's very comfortable. There is this boat, there is this captain, there is this tool, ISKCON. Everything is in place. And we are in constant association. There is another problem here. What is happening is we're becoming too comfortable in the boat. Nice breeze is blowing, wonderful association of devotees. The kachoris and Sunday feast is smelling so good, and the hot puris and halwas. What's the hurry to go back home, back to Godhead? It's comfortable. The boat is comfortable. The breeze is nice. And instead of hurrying up to go quickly back home, back to Godhead, we are like, let's turn a little right and then a little left, and it looks nice. The view is nice, and the hills view is nice. Everything is looking so cool and good. So that is why Govinda Das Kaviraj, he gives the next para of his bhajan. He says, come on, don't get so comfortable. Don't lose your enthusiasm and determination, nischaya, dhairya. You have to, utsaha. You have to be very quick. We have to go back home, back to God in this life. Otherwise, our mentality is Krishna is permanent, and anyway, the soul doesn't die, says the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we are permanent. He is permanent. What's the hurry? We can just take our own time. So then he comes to his next paragraph. He says, Sita Bata Barishana Edina Jamini Jagire. Hey man, don't get so comfortable. Sita Atapa. You are thinking you are in the boat and everything is very comfortable, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be cold. It may rain. There'll be so many problems here. It's not very comfortable. Material world is dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Nobody can get comfortable and nobody can be happy in this world. Shita tapa bhata parisana edina jamini jagire. There is heat, there is cold, there is rain, there is no permanent happiness here. And we are seeing that, and we are experiencing that. There is corona, and then there is sometimes cyclone, and sometimes hurricane, and sometimes this, or sometimes that. Adi devik or adhyatmik, adi bhautik. We keep on suffering. from some or the other miseries. Either some people are giving us trouble, or our body is giving us trouble, or the nature is giving us trouble. There is always trouble. So he's trying to make the point, there is no one is happy here. Sita hata pabata barisana. And okay, even if you want to stay back in this world, what do you want to do? He says in the next line, what you are doing? Bifale se vinu kripana durajana chapala sukhala bhalagire. You're wasting your time in serving two kinds of people who are there. Bifale se vinu, unnecessary serving people who are there. Kripana durjana, sinful people and miserly people. Now we will say, what is that? Who is miserly here and who is sinful? First of all, what is the definition of durjana? What does it mean by durjana? I don't see anybody durjana. My neighbors are very nice, actually. They're very good-hearted and nice people. No. Here, durjana means if somebody is not using their senses in service of Krishna, he's a durjan, wicked person. He's a sinful person. We may say, but how can you say that? Just because he's not serving Krishna, you will call him wicked? But he's nice. He's nice to his wife and he's nice to his children. Okay, sir, but here's a problem. So the thing is, if you take somebody's property, and then you don't give it back without his permission, and you don't give back anything to him, definitely you are a wicked person. So you may say, but what did I take? I didn't take anybody's anything. No, you took. Because you're using the sun's rays, sunlight, that is Krishna's. And you are breathing air, that is Krishna's. And you're drinking water, and that is Krishna's. And you're walking on this planet Earth, and that is Krishna's. And whatever is given to you, it is Krishna's. And you are using it, but you're using it for yourself and you're not using it for Krishna. So you are a wicked person, durjana. You are a miser. Krishna gave you so much, and you're just putting it in the locker and you don't want to give anything. Like, what is that Prabhupada told Bhakti Charu Maharaj? Oh, you have given so many lives for Maya. Why don't you give this one life for Krishna? So we just, we're taking something from Krishna and then we're not giving anything back to him. We just want to keep it for ourselves, miser. So this is our quality. These are our qualities. So he said, Bifale se kripana durjana. We are like this and we are serving people who are like that. Kripana and durjana. Why are we doing that? For what? Chapala sukha labha lagire. Because you are tempted, you are thinking, I'll get happiness. But let me warn you, dear sir, says Govinda Das Kaviraj, Chapala sukha. Oh, you're going to get something very fleeting, very, very small and fleeting. Chapala, just like somebody is in the desert and he's walking with a lot of hard work, and somehow he reaches, a place where he'll get water. And finally he gets one drop of water. Then is it worth it? Working so hard just for a drop of water? And that also, it may evaporate any moment. By the time it comes on your palm and it's gone. Just a drop of water. Chapala sukha labha lagire. Just for that you are going on serving kripana durjana. You are serving people who are wicked because they are not serving Krishna. And those who are miser. There's one beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 3, verse number 19. Very interesting verse. It says that if we are praising them who are not hearing the transcendental pastimes of Krishna, then you are, that's what Bhagavatam says. I'm not saying this. So then you are dog, you are a hog, you are a camel, and you are an ass. That's what it says. But we are doing it on regular basis. We are serving people who are not devotees, and we are praising them also because it's our job. They are our boss, so they are our seniors. So then you are a dog, you are a hog. Why you are a dog? Because dog has to wag its tail to the master because master provides food. So that's what we are doing, wagging our tails to materialistic people. And then we are like hogs. Why? Because hogs, they eat without discrimination. They eat anything and everything, whatever they get. And people are becoming in this world like hogs, just about eating anything that has life, they're ready to cut and eat it. And then they are like camels. Camels, they eat thorns. And while they are chewing the thorns, their tongue is hurt and blood comes out. And they think, wow, the thorns are sweet. But basically, they're just tasting their own blood. This is what people around in the world are doing, drinking and smoking, and they think that's making them happy, but it's actually they're just sucking their own blood. They're killing themselves. And then asses, what the donkey does. The donkey just works very hard for nothing. It can actually, without even working for the washerman, it can have all the grass, but it still works. And I especially like that example where Srila Prabhupada says how in India in those days they used to make the donkeys walk. They put a stick on the head of the donkey, and then there is a carrot hanging on the stick. And the donkey is assuming that, if I move a little forward and I can actually get hold of that carrot and I'm going to eat it. But because it's put in such a way that even if the donkey keeps walking, it'll never get the carrot. And then when it reaches the destination, finally the laundry man will give the donkey the carrot to eat. And that's what is our life. Every time we think, just a little bit and I think I'm going to be settled and everything will be fine. And then I'll dedicate my life completely to Krishna and completely to ISKCON and completely to service. And I've been hearing like this from so many people for last 20 years, but that day never came. The carrot is still, very far for them. So this is what is happening. Dog, hog. Yeah. Thank you for that picture. The dog, hog, and camel and horse, camel and ass. But of course, the Vaishnavacharyas say, we can become a dog and we can become a hog and we can become a camel and we can become a donkey for our Guru and Krishna. We can do that. Just like a dog is so loyal to its master, we can be loyal to Srila Prabhupada, can be loyal to Sri Krishna. Just like a dog barks if somebody disturbs their master, we should bark for Srila Prabhupada. I like that bhajan of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. One of my favorite bhajan, he says, Sarvasva tumar charane sampiya, pudechi tumar ghare, tumi to Thakur tumar kukur, boliya jana ho more, boliya jana ho more. Oh, you're my master and I'm your dog. And when you introduce me to anybody, don't tell them my name. Tell them, here is my dog. This is my dog. So that's how I want to serve Guru and Gauranga. That's how I want to serve the Vaishnavas. And I thought that is so beautiful. So yes, we can become dog of Srila Prabhupada. We can become dog of Krishna and bark, if anybody is disturbing or bringing obstacles in Srila Prabhupada's mission. We can become a camel, just like a camel stores water in the hump. And whenever there is scarcity of water, it just, takes the water from there. Similarly, we can store all the good lessons that we learn and all the verses of Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. And then whenever there is scarcity and we're not able to get association of devotees, we just draw from there. And we can become a donkey, just like a donkey works so hard. We can also work hard for Krishna, come out of our comfort zone and stretch ourselves beyond our capacity to serve Guru and Gauranga. We can become a hog, just like hog. Hog has a very, very powerful senses. And it can, just about smell anything from whatever distance. So we can also use our senses in serving Krishna. Then, and then we can actually become the dog, hog, camel, and ass for Krishna's service. So bifale sevinu kripana durjana chapala sukhala balagi re. Oh, why do you want to serve this wicked and miserly people for just that little sukha? That's what Govindadas Kaviraj says. Now somebody may argue, sir, you're talking too much, sir. But I'm frankly telling you, I am very happy. Maybe you're talking about general mass of people who have so many problems in life, but my life is very comfortable. I'm retired, one son in America, one son in London. Life is so beautiful, happy. Everything is fine in my life. So he comes up with his third para. Idhana yobana putra parijana ite kiyache parati tire He says, no, my dear sir, you are misunderstanding. E dhana, yobana, putra parijan, this is all fleeting. How this is all is just like it's like life is tottering like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Sometimes we see the dew drops on the lotus petal. Anytime they may just fall. It will not stay permanently. It will just go, it's moving, fleeting. So he says, my dear sir, no, dhana, this money will not help you. It's not going to stay permanently with you. Yobana, oh, this youth and this beauty, it will not stay with you. Putra parijana, oh, your family members, they will not. And many of us would actually practically experience it during Corona. Nothing was helping. Neither good contacts was helping, neither money was helping, nothing was helping. And even if you had a very good, healthy body, you have done exercise every single day, there were people who were still dying. And then, of course, there were some people who maybe didn't have the right contacts, but then they somehow survived. So we could really understand that actually everything is in Krishna's hand. We can't do anything. So nothing could help us at that time. Iti ki ache parati tire. Kamala dala jala, just like the lotus flower, on the petals of lotus flower, jivana tala mala. Oh, it's it's fleeting. We never know what's going to happen. Bhajahu haripada nitire. Oh, I'm giving you very good advice, my dear sir. Please surrender to Krishna. Bhajahu haripada. One thing is there, whether we do it voluntarily, like giving up, unnecessary attachments, or the time will forcibly take it from us. Choice is ours, but we'll have to give up. Give up, we have to, whether we do it voluntarily or we are forced to do it. I'm just reminded of these monkeys in Vrindavan. There was this one monkey who just got into somebody's room in Vrindavan and he got some nice peanuts. Now those peanuts were inside a small pot. Now you know how the mouth of the pot is usually a small mouth. He got his hand inside, got the nuts. But when he wanted to bring out the hand, it's not coming out. It went inside because at that time there was nothing in the hand. But when he's trying to bring it out, it's a fist because he has to hold the nuts and now it's not coming out. And he was yelling, oh, my hand is stuck. To the other friend monkeys, they came and they said, we'll help you. Just open the fist, leave the nuts and your hand will easily come out. And he said, how can I do that? I don't want to, I want them also. And I want my hand should come out. He said, that is not possible. This is what we want. I want everybody and I want Krishna also. But that is not possible. You have to give it up. So if you either voluntarily give it up or forcibly it will go away from you, because nothing is permanent in this world, whether it's your putra, parijana, dhana, money, youthful body, everything is temporary. So now Govinda Das Kaviraj has told us, okay, worship the son of Nanda, all this happiness is temporary, and bhajahu haripada nitire. So now we may say, but everything is very tempting, you're able to understand whatever you are saying, dear sir, but it's still, whole situation is very tempting. So what should we do? How to remove this temptation? So then he gives his next para. He says, Shravana Kirtana Smarana Vandana Pada Sevana Dasyare Pujana Sakhi Jana Atmani Vedana Govinda Dasa Bilashare. So he says, yeah, because this process of bhakti is not only emptying the mind. The process of bhakti is not only emptying the mind of temptation, but is also the process of, driving the temptation out by crowding the mind. That means bhakti is not only that you empty your mind of all desires, but bhakti is also you crowd your mind with Krishna's service. That's how bhakti works. It's not only saying no to temptation, it's also saying yes to Krishna, and both have to go parallelly. If you keep on saying no, it doesn't work. You have to fill it up again with Krishna bhakti, with Krishna's service. Suppose if there is this room and we want to vacuum, we want to create, okay, now we may try with different machines, but still if there is some gap underneath the door or window, again some air may come inside. But one good way of doing it is, if you fill it up with water, then there is no place for air. So similarly, if we fill up our life with Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana, then there is no place for temptation. So he's giving us a tip how to go about it, how we can save ourselves from temptation when we engage our mind, our senses. Shravana, we hear about Krishna. Kirtana, we talk about Krishna. Smarana, we remember Krishna. Pada Sevana, we serve Krishna and his devotees. Dasya, we serve the devotees, we serve Krishna. Pujana, we worship him. Sakhi Jana, we develop a relationship with him. Atma Nivedana, we surrender to him. Govinda Dasa, Bhilashare, that's Govinda Das tip to us. That is what he is also craving. Now we may say, I understand all this thing, but I don't have determination. Where do I get the determination from to do this? But the acharyas say, actually we have determination. There is nobody in this world who does not have determination. Every time people ask this question, how should I get determination? No, you don't have to get it. Everybody has it. What we don't have, or rather what we lack, is direction for our determination. I'll give you an example. We say we don't have determination to give up sense gratification. But even to indulge in sense gratification, you need determination. Even to indulge in sense gratification, you need determination. Is it not? Somebody is drinking alcohol. He has to have such a determination to continue, even though he's falling sick and his health is becoming bad and he got so many times into accidents because of drinking and driving, but he still drinks the next day. What a determination. Yeah. So everybody has determination. See what kind of determination all of us have. We've been hearing classes regularly, and we have been, been told continuously in the classes that, the goal of our life is to go back home, back to God, and not to indulge in materialism. But we still have so much determination to still continue our material life. So yeah, determination we have, whether we good or bad. It's just that we need to direct that determination in the right way. What is lacking is the direction to determination. Determination we have. When we have a purpose, then determination will become strong. For example, sometimes, during exams, children are so attracted to browse the net. They want to watch some movie. They want to do so many things. But they know, no, tomorrow is my exam, so I'm not going to do it. But one thing can be done. You can delay the temptation. Sometimes denying is not possible, but you can delay the temptation. Okay, today I will not watch, but tomorrow. And what happens if you delay? We'll come to that later. So determination comes when we have a specific purpose, and nobody lacks determination. Only thing is we have to give direction to our determination. If we give a certain purpose to our life, then our determination will become strong. So how should we increase that determination, or rather, where should we get direction for that determination? Direction for determination comes from Guru Sadhu and Shastra. If we are reading scriptures, like we just read Durlabha Manava Janma, then we get more serious. Oh, this human life is very rare. I should become serious. So when we again and again study scriptures and we again and again hear, then we get certain direction to of our determination. What we need to do actually is, there are two things in our life we can do. One is to create blockers between us and Maya, and one is to create pushers between us and Krishna. Blockers between us and Maya is somehow or the other decrease the exposure towards the things which agitate us, and tempt us, And even if we are forced to such exposure, at least try to delay that temptation instead of denying it. If you tell our mind, no, you're not going to get it, then mind will not accept, because we are made in such a way, creatures, we are pleasure seeking. We want pleasure. Without pleasure, we cannot survive. Only thing we can do is we cannot delay it. That means if we want to indulge in something which is not, which is not recommended for our spiritual progress, and if we say to our mind, no, you cannot, then it will revolt. But you can say, not today, tomorrow, or okay, not now, after 1 week, something like that. If and mind will get convinced, and then if you delay it, then that the urge, which is very tivra, which is very sharp, it will slowly become a little blunt, because you have delayed it. Many times, when I'm reaching here to the devotees, so they're getting serious in Krishna consciousness, and then you ask them, start wearing kanti, they'll say, Mataji, today is not a good day, I'll wear on Vaikuntha Ekadashi. So what they're trying to do is actually delay Krishna consciousness. But now you are in the right mood, just go ahead and take a step. And then I tell them, no, today is only good day. Now only you wear it. Ask them to take some vows, or ask them, not today, I'll do it on Sunday. Shall I do it? Our mind is, is trying to delay. So I keep telling them, no, do it now, right now. When the good thought has come, just now do it, finish it up. And then I tell them, on contrary, whenever an adverse thought comes, that you delay. Suppose you want to see a movie. Okay, it may not be Krishna conscious. Then you tell your mind, okay, I'll see. You tell your, otherwise mind will fight. Don't say I'll not see. No, definitely I'll see. I'll see on a good day. Let me see of a good day in the calendar. When should I see that movie? And then you mark it up. And then slowly by that time, the modes will change. Because sometimes we are in sattva, sometimes we are in rajas, sometimes we are in tamas, and we keep jumping between the modes. Sometimes when the rajas becomes very high, then we are tempted. We want to do something which may not be conducive for our Krishna consciousness. So we can't deny. We can say, we'll do it, not now. Let's mark it in the calendar. On this day, I'll do it. On this day, I'll indulge in it. And then by that time, your modes will change. And then, it'll become less agitating. So this is one thing we can do. So these are like blockers between us and Maya, Even associating with devotees, these are like blockers. You really want to indulge in something, but what to do? Devotees association, they are not leaving you. If you don't go on a Sunday program and they don't see you in the Zoom, hey Prabhu, why didn't you join for the class? They're constantly reminding us or sending prasadam. We are mixing with them, talking, meeting, going on yatra. These are all blockers. Even if we are attracted towards Maya, there's somebody coming between us and Maya. So we should always try and make sure that there are lots of blockers between us and Maya. And associate with the right people. That's very important. See, one of the biggest challenge or one of the biggest discouragement in our life is when we mix with people whose definition of success is different from our definition of success, especially when we associate with materialistic people. Their definition of success is money, position, whereas a devotee's definition of success is different. But when we are in friendship with them, then we'll be frustrated completely because their definition is different. Their definition of success is different. And then slowly we get allured. So this is one thing. We should create blockers by associating with the right people. See, the best way to deal with temptation is to not deal with it. The best way to deal with the temptation is to not deal with it. Because the more you deal with it, it'll grab you. So the best thing to do is delay it. If you too much ponder over it, shall I do it? Not. You make a decision. Yes, I will indulge, but not now. Just delay the process and slowly it withers away. And the other thing we can do is push ourselves towards Krishna. And that pushing will happen when we do Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Vandanam. Then whether we like it or we don't like it, we are forcibly pushed towards Krishna. So this is what Govinda Das Kaviraj says. Worship my mind, worship Lord Shri Krishna, take his shelter. This world is temporary and you are looking for serving this wicked and miserly people, but whatever you get out of it is fleeting, and this world is temporary, and the only thing that can give you happiness is serving Krishna. And how do you serve? By Shravanam Kirtanam. So here he tells us the problem, and he also gives us solution in the end, that do Shravanam and Kirtanam, and then you can go back home, back to Godhead happily. So with this, I'll end it here by praying for all of us that Guru and Gauranga blesses us this coming new year, calendar year 2022, and then we can say no to temptations. We get the strength to say yes to Krishna, and then we take shelter of the son of Nanda Maharaj, and we employ our body, mind and senses in service of Krishna in the way they like it, and that we get association of devotees, which is so rare in this world, and that we increase our taste in chanting the holy name, and we serve the Vaishnavas, we get opportunity to see Leela Salis of Lord, and then we can have a blissful Krishna conscious 2022 year ahead. Thank you so much. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, for this wonderful nectar and explaining this wonderful bhajan in so much details and giving so many practical tips to how to deal with the mind, how to be dog, camel, donkey, and hog for Krishna. It was really very nice, and these like these points of blockers for Maya and pushers for Krishna. So thank you so much for your wonderful class. So do we have time for one or two questions, Mataji?
Maybe another 5-10 minutes. Yeah, we can take.
Sure. So yeah, if devotees want to ask a question, you can at least put their hand up and preferably turn their video also on. We'll give chance to those first. Okay, so I'm going to unmute Bhaswati Mataji. Please, you can ask your question now.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam to your lotus feet. Very nice class, Mataji. So Mataji, my question is, when there is you said block your mind, and when there is a challenges, suppose in a same family, there is different opinion, then how one can, they have suppose have a lot of struggle with going to the path of bhakti, Krishna consciousness, because of the different ideas, different opinions. So how I should proceed with the in the devotional service, like.
Mute it. Okay. So what I understand your Hare Krishna. Okay, what I understand your question is that even if we want to move ahead in Krishna consciousness in our life, we may not get so much encouragement. Sometimes the people in our house are of different opinions. So how do we progress? We don't have control over anybody. Only thing that we can have control is our own self. So bloom where you are planted. Whatever situation that Krishna has put us into, whatever possible from that particular situation, that is what we should try to do. Even the gopis were put in trouble. They didn't have family members cooperating, but they still went on to become the greatest devotees of the Lord. So yes, we are put in different situations, but one thing we can be sure of is that Krishna knows what it takes to bring us close to him. So if he has put us in this situation, maybe this is what we require to become more close to him. Sometimes we see some devotees have such wonderful family, who husband is devotee and children are devotee and everybody is devotee and so encouraging. So maybe that is a situation they require to become close to Krishna. And sometimes we are put in a situation where nobody is supporting us, but maybe that is a situation we require to become close to Krishna. If we would have been given some other situation, maybe we would have become a little lazy. So Krishna knows rightly what we require to become devotee. So whatever situation that he has put in, from there on, whatever is possible, we should do. The whole point is, it's not about the quantity, how much. It's about how much you are, the best of your capacity. It's not in comparison with anybody else, it's in comparison with your own self. So in the given situation, what best you can do, you should do. Sometimes people think surrender means, okay, maybe I just surrender my family, or I just give up my hair, I just wear a cloth or in dress of renunciate, I move into the temple, I give up everything. Actually, surrender means wherever, whatever situation that Krishna has put you in, from there you try to do your 100%. So if you are put in a family where there is nobody who is supporting you in Krishna consciousness and you're all alone, well, that's all right. So whatever situation that you are put in, you take it as Krishna's mercy, and in that given situation, whatever is possible. So if they are not supporting, still nobody has control over your your tongue. You can always wag it, you can always move it and chant Krishna's name, and nobody's stopping. If you are have food in your on your plate, you can always in your mind offer it to Krishna, and you can chant Krishna's name. And the fact that you are here in this Zoom class, that means you're allowed to hear. So when you have a situation where you're allowed to hear and you're allowed to chant and you take Krishna's prasad, and whatever association possible. Nowadays everything is, it's such a boon actually with the Zoom and all. Otherwise there were times when it's so difficult to have devotee association unless and until you go to the temple and associate. Now it's all possible online, and then even if that is not possible, there are things available on YouTube and different social media. So there is so much. So there's no issue at all. That's it. Whatever situation you are in, you try your best and will progress, because everybody is different. What works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. Your shoes don't fit me, my shoes don't fit you. So whatever we may assume, oh, idealistic family, ideal life, wish I had that kind of life, it's never going to happen. We're all having different sets of karmas, and we're carrying so much baggage from our previous life. What we can simply be grateful is that in whatever situation, still Krishna allowed us to connect to the devotees and the right parampara, and we know Krishna is Supreme Personality of Godhead. Wow. And that, and we have Srila Prabhupada books, and we have Srila Prabhupada in our
Krishna, is it me who can't hear, or no?
You can't hear Prabhuji anything from Mataji. But YouTube is going on.
Looks like there was some connection. Looks like there was some connection issues. So hopefully Mataji will join back. Let's wait for a few seconds. Maybe anyone wants to share, give a reflection, what something really struck you while Mataji is joining. Anyone? You can raise your hand. I can see in the video. So yeah, Naman Prabhu, please, you can speak you.
Okay, am I audible now?
Oh yes, I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yes, Mataji, sorry, there was some connection, I guess.
I'm sorry, actually it's from my side. There's some net issue, internet issue. Okay, I just lost the track. I was saying that, yeah, so somehow or the other, we should get connected to Krishna in whatever situation that Krishna has put us into. Okay. Can you see me?
The video is off, Mataji. You can't see it.
Okay, Hare Krishna. You can hear me, but you can't see me.
Correct. Okay. Hear you. Okay. Okay, well then ask the next devotee to ask a question. So the Prabhu and Renuka Mataji want to ask a question. So please.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all wish to Shri Prabhupada. Please accept our humble obeisances, Mataji. Mataji is there, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for the wonderful class, Mataji. Thank you for about the mind management and the nice bhajan.
Can you please repeat your question? Mataji again dropped, but she's back. She's back, sorry.
Okay.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat. Yes.
Yes, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all wish to Srila Prabhupada. Please accept our humble obeisances. Thank you so much, Mataji. It was very enlightening class about the mind. So I was wondering the topic, how to control our mind more in this year. So it was a very perfect class for me and our family. And my question is, Mataji, when we are into ISKCON for a few years, so we know the 4 regulative principles and we have to follow the 16 rounds of chanting. So it's regularly happening. But the thing is, how can we improve the quality of chanting? So quantity is already there because we know that we have to finish 16 rounds. So how can we improve controlling our mind? Because after a few mantras, again, the mind takes us to somewhere, like maybe we think about the seva or the family, some other commitments in that day or the next week plan or something. But focusing on the Maha Mantra, it's very hard sometimes. Without knowing ourselves, it will get distracted, our mind. So how can we improve that, Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's a nice question, and that is one which has been asked regularly. I've given one class on chanting and how to improve on chanting. It's called "Do you have salt in your chanting?" You can go through that class. But in short, I would say that because we have mind, it will definitely wander. And the whole process is we keep on struggling to chant, and that's what Krishna will appreciate. And it's not that if we struggle, and one day our chanting will be completely pure, but Krishna will see our struggle and he may reward us. That's the hope. So we need to keep struggling, and we can take short steps at a time. That means even if our whole 16 rounds doesn't go that great, what we can start doing is, okay, I'm just going to chant one round perfectly today. Let me see how it works. And then you keep on improving. Even if not one round, you can even start with, I'll do just 5 mantras perfectly, 5 times Hare Krishna perfectly. And I'm going to hear each one and do it nicely. And like that, you can practice it for a few days and then keep increasing. And that's the whole process. Just like the pilot, when he's driving the plane is almost all the time going this way and that way. The whole point is, again, brings it back to track. So the mind is going to go here and there, but the whole point is we be conscious that it's going here and there, and again we try to bring it back, and that will keep going. That's what is going to happen. So it's like those boxing game, you box with Maya, you wrestle with Maya, and then you fall down, and then again the referee, he whistles, and then you again get up. So this is what happens. Guru and Krishna, they wrestle, they whistle, with their katha, and Srila Prabhupada, hey, come on, get up, and then we again get up and fight with Maya, and then we again get up and fight with Maya, and that's the whole process. But the good part is at the end, the referee decides who is the winner. So that referee is Krishna, and at the end, we never know. Maybe he'll decide we are the winners. If he sees that we are continuously struggling and trying, and maybe he will just lift our hand and say, here is the winner after the 16th round. So we can keep trying. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you for everything, Mataji. You are a great role model in my life. Whenever I get some situation, I think about your classes and your examples. It's really helping me a lot, Mataji. Thank you so much. Happy New Year, Mataji.
So much. Thank you. Same to you.
Mataji.
Thank you. Mataji, a young Vaishnava has anonymously asked this question. That sometimes parents take this young devotee to materialistic association where all the people are very materialistic. So what should this young devotee do? like party or something like that. I was
Yeah,
wondering.
Prabhu will ask Prabhu. You'll have to repeat the question somehow. It's
Hare
not
Krishna,
audible to
sorry.
me.
A young devotee has anonymously asked this question, that his or her parents take him or her to maybe parties or materialistic association, marriages and stuff. So what should he or she do to be having good
You have
association?
to format it. I can't hear you.
Hare Krishna. Others are able to hear me? Okay. I think Mataji's connection froze or something, so she'll try to reconnect. Someone probably wanted to say a reflection in the meantime.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, and Dandavat Pranam to all devotees. Yes, this bhajan Mataji was sharing with us and the explanation. I have been reading the meaning of this bhajan for many years, but today Mataji has shed a whole different light on this. It took us in a very deep way. That's my reflection and contribution. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Thank you. Karina, you understand? Reflection? Okay, Mataji is back. Sorry for the inconvenience, Mataji. Can you hear me now?
Okay. It's actually the climate here is not so good. It's gloomy and cloudy. The net is not so good. Yes, Prabhu, you were asking something.
Yeah, a young Vaishnava has anonymously asked this question, that his or her parents take them to materialistic associations where they feel out of place. So what should this young devotee do when he's like forced to go there because the parents want him or her to go?
Okay. The question is the parents are forcing to go into materialistic association, what to do? So you have to internally immunize. Okay, am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, so yeah, I think I'm okay. You have to internally immunize yourself what can be done. Sometimes you are exposed to situations even if you don't want to. So you have to, because parents, you see, it depends again. I don't know what's your age and what situation you are in, but whatever it is, you have to follow your parents. And if they are taking you somewhere, you'll have to go. Only thing is, internally you can, immunize yourself. So even if you are in materialistic association, it will not affect you if you have taken your vaccination. As you chant Hare Krishna properly, you do your hearing and reading. And even though you take it as an opportunity, you see, everything can be taken positively. Even if they're taking you in materialistic association, you can make that association spiritual. Make friends there and then talk about Krishna if it's possible. And sometimes preaching is not only talking about Krishna. Preaching is also about how do you talk, walk, behave, and carry yourself. It inspires people. If we are nice human beings, even that will be such an inspiration, because nowadays even nice human beings have become rare in this world. So if we are nice to people and we carry ourselves nicely, and we are kind and compassionate, and that makes an impact. That is also one kind of a preaching, because Krishna's devotees are like that. They are sweet like Krishna, and their presence makes everybody happy. You should take it positively, because you are chanting. And maybe, I don't know if you're wearing kanti. I'm just assuming you may be wearing some kanti or something, or you can put a little small tilak sometimes. Sometimes even I'm put in certain situations where, complete tilak. And of course, now it's different, but 10, 15 years ago, when I started some other projects and all, sometimes it's difficult. So just put a little bit. But over a period of time, you should take it in such a way that, you're giving them association. Many times I tell in my classes, one is, taking association, one is giving association. So when you go in this materialistic association, you don't take, you give your association. So you talk about Krishna. And even if you can't talk about Krishna, just be nice. When they see a face of a devotee, you are a devotee, they are benefited. They're seeing a Vaishnav like you. So this is also preaching. Preaching is not always about talking. Even if you keep your mouth shut, the fact that you are a devotee. So you go there and they see your kanti or they see your tilak, and they appreciate you. They're appreciating a Vaishnava indirectly. They're getting a Gyata Sukriti. So you take it like that. Oh, this is also one kind of preaching that I'm doing. There are so many ways, to take it. So take it very positively, since you are forced by your parents, and that will make them happy. But if you please your parents, that is also preaching. Otherwise, they will become averse to Krishna consciousness, that my child does not listen to me because he's so-called now Krishna's devotee. So, no, Krishna's devotees are ideal in everything. They are ideal son and their ideal daughter and ideal wife and ideal mother. They're ideal. So, and that inspires people. So you can take it like that. So be a nice son and or a nice daughter, I don't know who, and please them by going there. And nobody can take Krishna away from your heart. So when you are, when you are exposed, I understand, because we spoke about not to expose ourselves too much to materialistic, otherwise we'll get carried away. But you are put in such a situation. So make yourself strong inside, chant more extra rounds. And when you're going for this association, hear some more class and, try to immunize yourself before walking in there. And wear your mask. That means don't take their association. And then sanitize yourself. That's it. Sanitize yourself with Krishna Bhakti. So sanitize and wear mask and increase your regular immunity. If every day you are taking, Giloy and what is that, some kasayam and turmeric, and you become healthy. So every day if you are doing regularly hearing, reading, chanting, hearing, reading, chanting, these random metal associations can't do anything to you. Okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. It was very helpful, not just for that young devotee, but I think for everyone, myself included. So a lot of devotees have raised their hand and it looks like they really want to ask questions, but we want to respect your time so as well. So do we have time for more questions? Can you hear me?
Sorry, what is that?
A lot of devotees have raised hand. They're wanting to ask question. Do we have time for more questions?
Okay, you can take how many are there? Let me see.
About 9.
How many? 9?
7, 8, 9 are there.
Okay, is it okay if I answer like one line? Then I
Sure.
can take all 9.
Okay, sure. Please. Yes, Sunny Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavad Pranam. Mataji, we listen to so many lectures, but we cannot keep in mind regularly the lessons we have learned. And when it comes for practical application of the lessons that we have learned, then sometimes we are able to recall the things that we have learned, and sometimes the mind retaliate. So how can we overcome this, that we can react on the situations which are provoking us? And Mataji, and second question was, the lesson today we learned that we should, if we cannot deal with temptation, we should postpone it. But I have practically done it in my case, and when I try to postpone the temptations, the mind is continuously indulged in thinking that I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. So how can we overcome that? That was the question.
Hare Krishna. Is it off? Okay, now you have asked me 2 questions, and as per our condition, I'll try to answer as briefly as possible. Don't mind. I'm just reminded of those lions or tigers, the wild animals who are trained in the circus. They're so wild and they roar, but they have a very unique way of training them. Initially, they just keep them starving, and when they're not given food, they roar more louder. And they're still not given food, they roar even more louder. Everybody will shiver. And they're still not given food, and they roar louder. And they're still not given food, but now they don't have strength to roar. And the roaring becomes less, and the roaring becomes less, and the roaring becomes less. And then the circus master says, yes, now I give you this only if you jump through this ring, and then jump like this, and then do this. Then he throws a piece of meat, and that way he just captures or just trains or tames the lion. That's with our mind. It'll roar if you don't give it what it wants, and it'll roar louder, because what your mind will say: if you delay, I'll keep on disturbing you. You better do it now, and then I'll not disturb you. That's a promise it makes. But the moment you indulge, then another new thing will come up, and then another new thing will come up. So let it roar, and let it, roar louder. You don't care. And slowly the roaring will become less. And regarding the struggle, yeah, it'll go on happening. I mean, we even studied for our exams, right? In our school and college. Now tell me how many things we remember during the time of exams. There are always some things we'll forget while we are writing the test. Whereas we have studied the whole chapter, but we still forget some points. That's why in our school we have class test, and then we have unit test, and then we have quarterly, and then we have half yearly, and then we have a final exam. So by the time the chapter is revised so many times when it comes to the final. So that's what will happen in our life also. We'll be doing something, and then we'll forget. This time we forgot 5 things, but next time we'll forget only 2, and the next time we'll forget only 1 thing, and then maybe at one point in our life we'll not forget anything that we have heard in the class. So that's a continuous process, Yeah. Okay, next question.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, I have a question that whenever I try to do the japa or hear the mantras, sometimes I feel the strong association with Krishna, and my tears starts flowing effortlessly, and there's no stoppage. And there are some days when I don't feel any connection. When I hear the same mantra or same bhajana or same japa I don't feel any connection. I'm just going through the motions. So why this happens and how to overcome this? And a little small question, one more Mataji, is that I've got little time, not the little time, but I get whenever I get time to do my bhakti. So I always get confused whether I should read scripture, whether I should read Gita, whether I should read Bhagavatam, or whether I should chant. So what should I do in that much time? So that is my question, Mataji. Mataji, just one more thing. Tomorrow is my birthday, so I just want you to bless me along with this, with the more bhakti, with the Krishna, with the deep bhakti. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay. So there are 3 things here now. Okay. So let me see. My memory is not so good. So what you said is that, sometimes you are feeling very highly connected, and sometimes you are not. Yeah, because it is connected with so many other things. It always, it all depends upon what you did the whole week. So many other things, the way you spent your time, that will define your chanting. So sometimes when our reading and hearing and associating and what we are eating, the prasadam, everything is right, then chanting will happen right. When there is somewhere some little difference in the equation there, then the result also comes in different way. So it all depends upon the other things, because chanting is not something in isolation. It is all connected. What kind of people did you associate with, and what kind of atmosphere what you were reading. And your second question was, sometimes I feel when I have time, should I read Gita, or should I read Bhagavatam, or should I chant, should I hear Kirtan, what should I do? Okay, now this is Shravana, Kirtana, Smarana, Vandana. There are 9 types of bhakti. So what makes you more connected to Krishna? Do that. It's not that because somebody said, chanting is more superior than reading, or hearing is more superior than this, or that is more superior than that. What is connecting you? You know yourself. What you are inclined to. What makes you feel more connected to Krishna. Do that. See, like I've seen some devotees, for them memorizing verses is what makes them feel more connected to Krishna. And for some, just hearing bhajans. And for some, any day hearing class, or whatever they are in mood, if they hear class, they're happy. And for some, reading any day, if they just read, they're happy. And for some, dancing in kirtan, they'll be completely in ecstasy. So what is, I know, making you feel close to Krishna, pick it up for yourself. There are a variety of choice on the menu, and you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. There are lots of choices. And regarding your birthday, Shri Krishna Matirastu, Shri Krishna Shubhamastu, Shri Krishna Bhakti Praptirastu. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandot Pranam. So it was a nice class on mind. So how to control mind and all the stuff. So since you spoke on a mind, so I have a question here. So how to deal with the criticism, though people like non-devotees, so like they compare us with some other people who is in higher position. So they compare us like they are earning more, they are in high position. So what are you doing in this age, like Krishna conscious and all? So how to deal with such kind of words or sentence? So if you can suggest, it would be very helpful to many of youths like me.
So we spoke about it, right, at the end of the class, that the most discouraging thing in Krishna consciousness is when we associate with the people whose definition of success is different from our definition of success. So when we associate with them, definitely they will criticize us because we are not as successful as they are materially. That's why we should try and associate with people. What Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Rupa Goswami says, Snigdha, those who are having the same taste, the same aspirations. We should try and associate with them. And as far as coming with them, that's it. If you associate more with devotees and you are clear with your goals, don't mind so much what they are saying. Take it as a child's word. Sometimes children, they say so many things, but the parents, they don't mind. They take it as fun. Sometimes I don't know if you are married and you have children, or if you have your brother's children or sister's children, sometimes they'll come and they'll pull your beard and they'll tell you so many things, but you don't mind, even if they say you are like this, or what, you'll not mind it. Similarly, when we deal with other people, we should take it like that, because they don't know what's the goal of life. So it's yeah, because they don't know what's the goal of life, and we should not take them so seriously. If the fact that if you're taking them seriously, that means for them, they are, for you, they are important people. So you're giving importance to them, and you're giving importance to self. So you should take it in different ways. One is that you don't give them importance. Second is, if they're saying something, take it humbly. It's good now if they keep on poking you, you'll become humble, because we need also somebody to keep on telling us something that will keep us in humble state of mind. And take more association of devotees. Try to decrease the exposure. And you can't answer everybody all the time. Every time you cannot be ready with some answer and defeat them. Some things you have to tolerate. Like every time I tell in my class, there are only three choices. Either you tolerate, or you mitigate, or you migrate. You are in that place and you're not comfortable with that person, just migrate, get out from that place. Or you mitigate, try to sort it out by giving him explanation. No, look, this is not my priority, and I'm trying to be Krishna conscious, and this is what we are doing. Or you just tolerate it. Sometimes you just tolerate it. Depends upon what kind of situation that you are in. You take it. If there's somebody who's your junior and you can explain, then this is a good opportunity. You can talk about Krishna with them, and explain. There's somebody who is beyond you, just tolerate it, and leave it. The fact that sometimes you don't answer and ignore is also a very big thing, that you're not even worth the answer. So like that, depends upon what kind of people you are dealing with. You see where you can tolerate, you tolerate, where you can answer, you answer, or leave that place and take less association of those kind of people. Inside, don't get affected. So many people will say so many things. Even Shishupal told Krishna 100 things, I mean, he is a supreme personality of Godhead, and still Shishupal could find out more than 100 faults in Krishna. And and there are people, in Bhagavatam, you will see how they back and forth criticize devotees, is it not? But they had to tolerate. So we are in this in this situation in this world where all the wrong vices are appreciated, right? Today, if somebody is very passionate, they call him ambitious. Today, if somebody doesn't know how to speak and speaks very bluntly, then we say that is very outspoken and smart. So like that, for every vice now they have given a good name in the society. If somebody is not satisfied and goes on hankering for more and more material good, they say he's so ambitious. It's amazing, what a quality, such a passion for work. And if he speak lie, they say, wow, he's so diplomatic. And if he's not well mannered, they say, wow, he's straightforward. Doesn't keep anything in the heart. So whatever you do, all the vices now in this Kali Yuga is presented as good thing. So what do you do? This is a crazy world we are living in. So we'll always be looked at as if odd ones out. So what can, but that does not mean that we change our situation. We change our stand. What can be done? I'm just reminded of one story. Where it's already 9 o'clock. How many more questions? 3, yeah?
That
Okay,
that
I'll
cleared
skip
a
that
lot,
story.
Mataji. Thank you.
Huh? Thank you. Okay.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, there's, yes. Yes,
Yes.
then 3 more will answer
Yes,
very
Lakshmi
quickly,
Mataji,
one line.
please.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, please accept my humble obeisances. Mataji, I have a question about remotes of nature that you talked in the end. So as of now, since couple of years, I'm taking Krishna Prasadam only, and not taking any intoxicated food or too spicy or too salty like that. But still, I go through the rajas and the tamas modes. So I wanted some clarity. Does it depending on the time that will be in that mode, or the pressure of work or material work that we are involved, or it's what our food that we take? So what is the exact on which basis we will be put into particular mode though we take sattva food?
All will have its place, and keep putting us in a particular mood. There is one verse in the Bhagavatam. Now I'm not able to remember, but what kind of food you eat, what kind of people you associate, what kind of city you are living in, what kind of scripture you are reading. So many, I think around 10 or 11 factors are there, which will determine in what mode you will be. So it's not only one single thing, what kind of people you are associating also affects. So food, association, place, scripture, everything, gender, so many things will affect. So whatever, so like that. But only thing is we should chant Hare Krishna, and that will keep us in Shuddha Sattva. Okay, next.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam. Mataji, class was excellent. Like as you mentioned, blockers for Maya and pushers for Krishna. Like sometimes I'll be rock for Krishna also. Like after that, so like after some time or like after that situation, like I will regret for that, Mataji. Like that too, like without my knowledge, I will be rock to Krishna. Later, like I'll feel like I done big mistake like that. Like I will regret for that. Like, what is the solution, Mataji?
Okay, now I understand your question, Pavan Prabhu. You're saying that sometimes I give in to temptation and I do something which I'm not supposed to do, but later on I regret and I feel bad about it. What should I do? It's very simple. See, cannot always be perfect. Definitely will make mistake. And but if you keep on thinking about that mistake and feel depressed, then that is also not good for your Krishna consciousness. We should repent, but that repentance should encourage us to continue in our Krishna consciousness more fervently. Then that repentance is very good and healthy, because it's encouraging you, oh, I did like that, now I should chant more, and but if that repentance is taking you away from Krishna and putting you in depression, then that is unhealthy. So repentance should be there, but just see what you do after repentance. See, we may fall, in Maya, but between the falls, what we are doing is important. we cannot always be stable. There will be always up and down in every devotee's life. Only thing is, for some devotees, sometimes the falls don't happen so frequently. The graph is, one spike, and then after a long time, another spike. And those who are maybe new in Krishna consciousness, there are continuous spikes. But between the spikes, what you do is very important. So yes, we fall, but between the fall, we should again try to rise and, think about Krishna. But if you keep on thinking about yourself, then that is also not Krishna consciousness, because bhakti means to be Krishna centered, not self centered. If you keep on thinking, I am hopeless, I am useless, but what you're basically doing is you're becoming self centered by going on thinking about yourself. But the whole point is to think about Krishna and be Krishna conscious. So don't think so much about it. Yes, it happened. Now leave it there and start again thinking about, okay, now what next? Now let me just chant. Let me just improve. That's what. Because the whole point is, Krishna does not love us because of what we are. Krishna loves us because what he is. He's not loving us because of what we are. He loves us because he loves us. He is like that. He is compassionate and he is merciful. So his love for us is because of his quality, not because of our quality. And at no point of time it will be because of our quality, because we can never come up to that level where Krishna will love us because what we are. He loves us because he is like that only. He loves everybody. So don't worry so much. And always remember that, no matter what we do, we are not capable of doing something that will take Krishna away from us. He'll never leave us. But again, that does not mean that we become overconfident and start indulging in whatever, because anyway, Mataji said, we are not capable of doing something that will take Krishna away from us, so I can do anything. No, we should be serious, but you should not get into depression or something like that. You should take it positively and move ahead. Okay, are we done?
One last question, Mataji.
Last
Hare
question.
Krishna
Okay.
Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you so much for a wonderful class. So actually, my question was related to what you said, right? When you are in Krishna consciousness, you become fearless. And I've been in Krishna consciousness for many years, the few decades, and I've seen that, you see the devotee suffering, and the same suffering is happening outside. Like devotees ke daat kharab hote hain, bahar ke logon ke daat kharab hote hain. There are issues with devotees, there are divorces there are divorces outside. There are so many things, right? Similar things. People die in Krishna consciousness, people die outside. But then sometimes you feel that, actually, that there are few devotees who suffer a lot. And sometimes bahar, they are not suffering that much. So is it, and even if these people are chanting for years, is that because, the karma of the people who are not Krishna conscious was not that bad, or they're not getting the results of that during that time, versus the person who is in Krishna consciousness, even if they're chanting, their chanting is not that effective, and they're still suffering? Because we hear, right, after chanting, your karma gets, your karma katte hai and all that. So sometimes it's hard to understand that even if they're doing it for so many years, and you see so many devotees like that. So not sure.
In short, I understand your question is that we see the devotees also suffer and the outsiders also suffer. So what is the difference? Partly you answered your question saying that sometimes so-called when you see some so-called non-devotee not suffering, it may be because of some good karma that he must have done in his previous life. But again, coming to your first part of question, we see devotees suffer and he also suffers. What's the difference? The only difference is there are two patients in a hospital. Both of them are lying on two different beds, and both of them are suffering from some kind of disease. But there is one person here who knows what disease he's suffering from, and the doctor has started the treatment. There's one person who is suffering, but has still not figured out what he's suffering from. So out of the two, this one is better, because even though he's suffering and he's, yelling and crying in pain, but at least he knows what disease he's suffering from, and the treatment has started. So if not today, tomorrow, after a few months, he'll get cured. But this person doesn't even know what he's suffering from, and why is he suffering also he's not able to understand. The treatment has not started. So devotees are always better off. So even though apparently we see sometimes devotees suffering, so-called suffering, but what they're actually doing is that, their previous karmas are getting over, or rather Krishna is purifying them, Krishna is making them more stronger. Whatever it is, Krishna, devotee is always under the jurisdiction of Krishna. And every time that the suffering or whatever is happening, either it's Krishna trying to teach us, or make us more Krishna conscious, or it's maybe some previous karma that we are getting done with. So we should be happy, because After day comes night, and after night comes day. Nobody can stop night to come, and nobody can stop day from coming. After every suffering, we know our spiritual, our bank account, which had all that suffering in store, is we are withdrawing, and one day it will become empty, and then the good phase of our life will start. So it's a continuous process, good and then bad, and then bad and then good. So it will go on. But we should be happy that Krishna is personally going through our treatment papers, and right treatment is going on, and very soon we'll be fine. Spiritual life, sometimes some things apparently don't seem very good in the beginning, but in the end result will be fine. We have to have more patience. When the surgery happens, it looks painful only. The doctor is cutting the stomach and removing the tumor, but at the end everything will be fine. So yeah, we go through so many things and so many suffering, but at the end it will be fine. Materialistic people also go through so much suffering, but we don't even know what's going to happen because they have not even yet started the treatment. Okay, so I can go on and on, but I think I'll end it here. I think we're done now.
Thank you,
Super
Mataji.
Vilash Prabhu. We
Yes,
gave answers to
Mataji.
everybody.
I think, yes, we did.
Yeah, we
I'm
did
so
it.
grateful,
Okay.
so grateful to you for
Yeah.
going really above the time and helping everyone get their answers. So thank you so much. So let's express our deep gratitude to our grace Dr. Mataji for giving us this wonderful bhajan, details about this wonderful bhajan and question answers. We're very, very grateful. Let's express that by loudly chanting 3 times. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Hari Bol.
Thank you so
Nitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda Ki Jai Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you so much for the devotees. How's the situation there, Shubha Vilas Prabhu? How's the corona situation there?
Corona situation, Mataji, it's kind of, the numbers are now going up for the new variant. But as I think everyone, the situation around the world, it's not as kind of deadly or as harmful as the previous ones. People are recovering in a few days.
Our devotees, our community devotees, everybody's safe and fine?
In Tampa community where we serve, all the devotees are doing well by Krishna's mercy, and they're safe by Krishna's mercy. Thank you so much for asking, Mataji, and please keep us in your blessings and prayers. Thank you so much. Thank you. Grace Nataisevni Mataji ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Thank you everyone for joining. Hare Krishna, Happy New Year.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Happy New Year.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.